Okay, this is like my 5th time trying to record this, so hopefully this works. Yeah, this is my little tutorial for ChaseYooth. I saw you were in a stream and requested Underbelly to go over some sounds that I created for a track I made a year ago called Randomized Concepts Conceived by the Deep. It was a pretty funny little clip to me, and honestly quite flattered that someone would want to know how I made sounds. So, yeah, this is me just saying what's up, I guess. So I opened up this project file. It's a year old. I managed to find it. Of course, it's not named anything like the actual track title, but it's the whole project file. It's got all sorts of different little clips and cuts and all sorts of stuff. But the kind of important thing, and I think the thing that you were asking about, was how I did some of these sort of mid-range bass cuts that are kind of very, very heavy movement throughout them. So if I solo this mid-bass group at 27 seconds, we can hear these all sorts of different movement things moving around. And the way this actually works is it's just many duplicated samplers that have just a mud pie loaded in, and it's all just controlled through MIDI. So if I go and look up app recording 2021 0406 in my samples, this is an app 21 0406. I don't know why it's not showing up now. 2021 0406. Oh. Well, here, I can go into my samples folder here. And yeah, here it is. So this is a sample that I just recorded. If you're not familiar with the process, if you're not familiar with like the process of making a mud pie, it's mainly just going in, putting a bunch of distortion and effects on like a sine wave or like some wavetable synth, and like I personally like to add some like LFOs or like some random kind of movement to it with LFOs, just modulating parameters. My kind of thoughts when making a mud pie like this is to just turn some knobs around, and when you find one that sounds cool when you turn it, put an LFO on it, and either like put some random on it or just like some big movement, or I don't know, whatever you're feeling. There's really no rules. So if you scroll through this, there's just all sorts of different tones. But yeah, I loaded it into a sampler here. And what's really nice about this is, like, let's say we have this phrase here. If I wanted to like maybe change a note, all I would need to do is duplicate a channel. So I just did Command D, and like let's say I wanted this one to be different. I can just change like the start time on this sample here, and then all of a sudden I have a totally new sound. We're crashing. Oh shit. This is a fucking mess of a tutorial, oh my god. Or... So yeah, it's a really good way to sample a lot of different sounds very quickly, and get a lot of variation, and then it's nice to be able to control it with MIDI, because it allows for kind of easier duplication and pitching and stuff, and then yeah, so this is literally just like 100 different channels of the same sample, and like some of them have like some effects or some gain staging, or yeah, there's some stereo on these ones, so like they're all more or less the same, but like just kind of have slightly different tones depending on, you know, what I was feeling for that like moment in the song. But yeah, and I guess now that's I've shown you kind of the trick of that, I'll get into some editorializing. I definitely don't think that this is necessary, and like in the years since I finished this track and published this track, I've made a really strong effort to kind of simplify a lot of my production process so it's not quite so cracked out, because 146 channels, that's probably too much. That's probably too much for a track. I mean, it worked for this track, and I definitely like this track, but in general I think I want to keep my own music simpler than this, but that's just me. That's just personal taste and personal preference, and like how I've been growing as an artist and producer since then. So yeah, that's basically it. If you want to come chat about music production stuff, I'm on Discord a lot. I hang out in the Space Discord and the Glitch.cool Discord quite a bit. So yeah, feel free to hit me up. Feel free to talk to me. Super friendly and kind of super flattered that you'd spend $5 to try and get some insight onto this track. So yeah, with that, we'll stop recording. Thanks.